Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I am here to do my December book Bujo setup. So for this month, I will first walk you through kind of where I'm at in this planner, and then we will do the setup. Full disclosure, today is currently November 18th. This is probably the earliest I've ever done this setup. However, that's when I have time, so that's what I am doing. So this is just intro page. My grid guide, that doesn't change. I'm having a pretty decent reading month. I've definitely slowed down a bit here in November because I just honestly have other things going on that I need to get done, but that's fine. I'm still getting some reading done, and that's the most important part. And I am still pretty much keeping up on my goals. I should actually fill this one in. I did make progress on a series. I just need to read a book from my own shelf this month, but making progress here, doing okay. Over here, I still just have one Our Fantasy Bingo prompt left, and I did catch up on Buzzwordathon. The Around the World-a-thon I've been done with for a while. Pop Sugar, I have made progress on a couple more. I'm hoping to maybe get in one more prompt this month. We'll have to see how it goes. I think I have 4 prompts left on here. And then Romanceopoly, I did finish up in October. And then I am keeping up on Adventures in Aldea. I have Treat Yourself for my December prompt, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try to not buy too many books, but we'll see how that goes. Moving ahead to kind of where we are at right now. I should show you my October book stats. So in October, my favorite book of the month was Good as Goldie by Georgia Dunn. This is a continuation of a comic series, and I just really like it. It's so wholesome and fun. The most excited about was That Night in the Library by Eva Jurczyk. That one was like a locked door mystery, which I quite enjoyed. It was kind of pitched as a thriller, a bit of a thriller, but it was really fun, and I enjoyed that one. My biggest disappointment was probably My Vampire Plus One. I just didn't like any of the characters, so I stopped reading. And then my top recommendations of October were Good as Goldie, That Night in the Library, Kismet Connection by Ananyan Devaraja. Please excuse my terrible pronunciation. Black Klansman by Ron Stallworth, and Days at the Morisaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagasawa. Very fun, kind of wholesome reading there. In terms of my stats, I read 22 books for 6,600 pages, DNF 2 books, average rating of 3.68, which is pretty all right. You can see I had actually a lot of 4 stars, which is surprising for me, but perhaps it's because I read pretty diversely, which I think tends to make my score go a little bit higher. When I read a ton of romance, I start to get super picky. I read a lot of new authors. Half of my books were own voices, so that was pretty good. As I said, mix of genres. In the romance genre, about half were fantasy, and then another quarter were paranormal. Kind of fits with the spooky season. I read a mixture of genres, formats, and mostly was new releases, but a little bit of everything. Moving into November, things have been pretty short and sweet so far. So I have my cover page. These are the prompts that I have left that are yearly prompts, not monthly prompts. So kind of working on that. I do want to finish Our Fantasy Bingo. I know I have until the end of March, but I want to get it cranked out before the end of the year. So I have that one, plus the few Pop Sugar prompts left. So hopefully going to get one more done this month because there's still 5 prompts on here, and I would like to get it down to 4, at least, for December. I have read all of my priority reads, which were all arcs, so making progress there. Over here, this is all of my readings thus far. So as you can see, definitely a big change over some of these previous months, but that's just where I'm at. I've done all of the reading. So for December, I'm going to leave these 2 pages for any reading that might extend beyond here. I do have 2 weeks left, but I'm also extremely busy for the entirety of those 2 weeks. So I'm hoping to get maybe 4-ish books read during that time. So it might just fit on here. I might have to go a little onto here, but I can definitely fit my like favorites and stuff like that into those pages. And then 2 pages for my November book stats. And then that puts me here for December. So I have this many pages left to do December reading and any 2024 end of year stuff. So it's going to be tight, but we're going to make it work. I can always like stick in an extra page or actually use this like closing page here. We'll see how it works out. Anyway, for this month, I am using washi tapes like usual. So I have these two from Simply Gilded with gold foiling. This one is like red and green plaid. This one has little cardinals on it and little bows. And then I have these two from Michaels. This one says Merry Christmas, and this one has red little snowflakes. So a lot of these are pretty old. So I'm just trying to use some things up for sure, or at least make progress. My plan is to do kind of a vertical setup like I did way back in January. This kind of setup, I'm gonna try to stick with a similar vibe, I believe, for this month. We're gonna see how that goes, but that is pretty much the plan. So the only readathon I plan to do in December is I think I'm gonna do the Winter in Romance Land, the literature readathon. I think it's just a long weekend or just a weekend readathon. That happens in like the middle of the month, so I'm not gonna do any setup for that right now. So it's just these 2 pages of setup that's going to happen. The other bits that I have a forest green I Buy 'em fine liner, and I have a beige mild liner. So I'm just going to use all this stuff however I need to, and I'm going to try to do a pretty quick setup, and then I will be back so that we can talk through what it looks like. All right, I think this is all I'm gonna do for my setup. So pretty simple. I did a skinny strip of that washi, and then I did back to back of this plaid washi with the sparkles in the middle. I thought that would look really cute, and I did line up the plaid so that it looks pretty nice. You can barely tell that there's just a tiny bit missing down here and a tiny bit at the top, but otherwise it looks really good. And then just a line. I did kind of like a layered word. I don't know that the B turned out perfect, but close enough. And just a little bit here. And then my prompts and my reads are going to go in here. Those will be filled in at some point in the future, but probably the 1st or 2nd day of December, I will fill these in. And I think it'll be just close enough for these purposes here. And then I'm just going to start tracking my reads here. I will put in the one readathon on a page, whatever day that ends up happening. But I have here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 dot grid pages to fill everything in. So it's going to be close, but hopefully we're going to make it work out. Oh, might be a couple extra here. Anyway, but I think that's all I have for today. So as always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know what you're excited to read in December, what you think I should read, what readathons you're participating in. Basically anything bookish. I would love to hear from you. If you don't have anything that you want to leave me a little bird emoji just to say hi. I would love to hear from you. And then follow me on Instagram at Creative Life of Liz. You'll see in progress and finished spreads of most of my planners, as well as bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.